Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pits of Motor Chaos. This is your host, Dave. Special guest on the line with me, Jim Teague, 2019 March Meet A-Gas champion. How's it going, Jimmy?
Good, buddy. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. So, how's it feel to win the March Meet?
Oh, man, that was an awesome feeling. Been trying to win that for quite a while. I've been to the final twice and read that both times, so I really wanted this one.
So, what do you think contributed to your success to win this year?
Oh, got it. Just a great crew. Car ran flawless. Good people helping me out.
Yeah. So, how did it feel to be in the winner's circle? Were you very excited in the winner's circle?
Oh yeah, that was a big emotional feeling. I had my crew and my dad in there, and kind of wanted to win that for my dad. Also, he got diagnosed with cancer a couple of years ago, and so he beat it, and I'm just happy he was there to see that.
Oh, that's awesome. See, God wanted him to beat the cancer so he can see his son win the March Meet.
Yes, sir. I truly believe that.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, when going back to your beginning, how did you get into drag racing?
Well, my dad had a car. I sent you a picture of the purple car I was working on.
Right.
Anyway, so that one, I mean, it didn't look like that, of course. It was all lettered out, said Quick Draw on the side, Quick Draw McGraw from the cartoons back in the day. So that was all over the car, and so just kind of grew up around it a little bit, and I've got pictures of our whole family standing beside that car, and we're just little guys, and just kind of took off from there. And I remember one time, the country roads were the test session, so we go out there with Dad. I was a little guy and out in the country, and I'm in the car, and all I want to do is get out, because I guess all the noise and everything. Now all I want to do is stay in that car and make pass after pass. It's just, I don't know, but it's my addiction, I guess.
So what year was it when you first started drag racing?
I started in high school. I started going down there, a group of buddies in Bakersfield. Formosa Raceway there is not, an hour and 30 minutes from my hometown back then. And then, so we kind of went out there in high school and started playing around. And then after high school, I kind of built another motor. And I started out racing a 64 Ford Ranchero. And then, I kept wanting to go faster, and I was kind of struggling with it. And my dad told me, hey, you want to go fast, stop messing around with that thing and take the Nova and start and build that. So then I started building that, and then 98 was my first time at the March Meets. I just ran hot rod with that Nova, and it kind of evolved, and then I always wanted to go faster. Well, I kind of built that car, with the help of friends, and so it was kind of limited. Like, okay, I can't go faster, so built the A-Gas car, and just started racing now. So I've been racing pretty solid since high school, I guess.
So now the A-Gas car, what kind of car is that? What's the make and model?
Okay, well, it's a Timacamus body, so it's all fiberglass. 67 Nova. It's got an Alan Johnson 41X engine in it with a 1471 blower, power glide. It's carbon interior. It's pretty kind of my dream car, I guess I would say.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
Thanks, bud.
So now you got another race car too. What's your other race car?
Well, the other race car is it's a 63 Nova. That was the one that my dad had. I ran it and started out in hot rod. I always wanted to go faster, so I kind of got different engine pieces, kept going faster, and then I started running B-Gas. Good friend of mine, Mark Smillian, got me hooked on running index racing. So I ran B-Gas for a long time, and 2009, I was actually the Heritage Series B-Gas champion. everything. You just kind of evolve into going faster and stepping up classes. So that's kind of what got me where I am here today. And then the Nova, believe it or not, was like one of the only small blocks that runs B-gas, the 860 index. And, I mean, it runs pretty good for a small block.
So are you still racing the second car too?
Yeah, yes. Actually, a friend of mine I was telling you about, Mark Spohn, he drove it at the March meets, and I'm trying to get it ready to drive this weekend at the West Coast Hot Rod Association. So I kind of race both cars a little bit, different series. I go the Heritage Series with the A-Gas car, which is, that's like the March meet race.
Right.
Travel around, and then race the other one kind of in between time.
And you got a couple street cars too, you said, right?
Yeah, I have a 64 Nova SS that I'm trying to put together. I put an LS2 in it, and just trying to make a nice little sleeper car, drive it to the track, run 11s, drive it home, AC on, that kind of thing. And then I have a 67 Nova. I don't know if you see a pattern here. You got a race car 60,
Yeah.
Same buy style, but anyway. So I have a 67 Nova that I want to build full frame and just like a show car, because believe it or not, that's what I do for a living. I build street rods.
So now with the two race cars and the two street cars, you do car shows with all these cars?
No, not really. I'll take to our local car show. I try to take my race cars, or one of them, and then the only car show I go to with all the street rods is I go to the Grand National Roadster Show in Pomona. That's like a big deal. And then the others, man, I just kind of busy trying to drag race and just live life. So I only hit a few car shows.
So now the A-Gas car, what's the quickest ET you've had with that car?
Well, I went down to Super Chevy Show and put kind of a soft tune-up in it, and I went 694 at 204, and then I went and ran some of that big tire, I don't know, that crazy like the Street Outlaw deal.
Right.
We went to Sonoma and ran that on a 10.5 tire. We were running the 8, and I think the equivalent would have been like a 670 or somewhere in that neighborhood. The 8's my LET. It's got more in it. I just need bigger fuel pump and change a few things, and I could drive the blower harder. I was out of fuel pump. I couldn't throw any more fuel at it, so I didn't want to burn it up, so I was kind of stuck.
Okay, so now when you take the car out racing, who are your crew members? How many crew members you have?
I got my brother, Billy. He races as well, and then my buddy, which he's like my brother. His dad raced back in the day, and him and my dad were friends. So, and we're like a month apart in age, and we just grew up together. So it's us three, and they race and I race, and we kind of make it work. We run different classes, and so that's kind of my crew. And then I have guys that help me. Joe Betancourt helps me with the engine stuff. He's just kind of a guru, and used to race top fuel stand cars. He tunes pro mods, engine builder. The guy Justin Wake, he shorties oil pans. He helps me with all hands and whatever kind of little fab stuff I need. And then another buddy of mine, Bruce Sanders, he'll sponsor me now and then. He kind of helped me. Me and him would flip some race cars and sell them. So that's kind of where I got the money to build this thing. So that's kind of my guys there. And then my buddy Mark, like I said before, he'll drive my other car, and then he'll help me with this one too.
All right. So now, who are your sponsors?
Believe it or not, I'm kind of sponsoring myself.
Okay.
Napa will give me some oil and brake clean, and I've had a few. At one race, I did get sponsored. That was at Bodie, the big tire race in Sonoma. People gave me some money to go to that because they wanted to see me go compete with those guys. But for the most part, it's all
Yeah, sponsors your pocketbook.
Yeah, it hurts sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could just go shoe a car for somebody else and let somebody else pay for it. Because I'd really love to, go faster, but I'm kind of like on my budget. This is kind of what I can do.
Right. Okay, so now, Jim, when you first started getting into drag racing, were there any other drivers out there that inspired you?
As far as drivers, well, you always watch the pro guys, and I always loved pro stock, believe it or not. So, man, you watch Warren Johnson, all those guys, road gears, and do all that stuff. It was just, I don't know, it was exciting to me. So I just kind of follow those guys, and then, people you meet at the track, and just watch guys win, and you get to talk to them, and it'll teach you little tricks, and I don't know. I can't say that there was like one driver, but I think just the whole racing community to me is like a big family. You get out there and everybody just kind of goes along together, and they help you out somewhat. But then when you're racing against them, boy, that's all out the window. But anyway.
So now, when you started drag racing when you were young, did your mom support you drag racing, or she was kind of worried about you out there?
No, my mom loves it too. They go watch, so everybody was kind of on board.
Now you have the one brother. You have any other brothers, sisters?
I have a sister.
So she ended.
And I got some step brothers and sisters. Yeah, my sister, they go to the big races, like the March meets or the reunion down there in Bakersfield. But that's about it. With the family will go. For the most part, it's just me and my brother and my other brother that we grew up with. So that's us three. We go and do our thing. That's kind of our thing.
You got any nieces and nephews?
Yep. I have two nieces. And man, one time, let me tell you, we were at the races and the family was there, and it was 185,000 degrees like it gets out here. And we just made a run and came back, and I'm sweating like crazy, and I just want to get out of my car. My niece, before I had a chance to get out, she's, Uncle Jimmy, I want to get in there. So, and I sat in there for 15 minutes with her just sweating because she wanted in there. So, and the good thing is my sister-in-law captured a picture of that, so I kind of cherish that picture.
Yeah. So now, Jim, what was the feeling like for you to go down a drag race track for the first time ever?
Oh man, I remember the first time I went down the drag strip. For some reason, of course, I had kind of like tunnel vision, but you're in a loud car. It was like I couldn't hear anything but wind. So afterward, I'm thinking like, what in the world was going on in my head? Because I know there's engine noise and all kinds of stuff, and I'm in a car with windows and a helmet on, so how am I hearing wind? I don't know. It was just a kind of a, I guess, surreal feeling. I don't know. Like I was just flying through the air.
So how'd you do on your first run ever? How'd you run? Good?
Yeah, that was in high school, when we did that. And then I actually won a couple races in the high school series. So I guess I've been kind of lucky. I don't know. I really concentrate on drilling the tree. That's kind of. Oh shoot! Sorry about that.
Yeah, I hear the dog barking.
Yeah, I don't have any kids myself, so my animals are like my kids, and I got one little guy. He's my dog, and whenever somebody else comes around, he starts throwing a fit.
What kind of dog is it?
Oh, he's a Chihuahua.
Yeah. What's his name?
Chihuahua / pit bull. That's how those things work.
So what's the dog's name?
Oh, Brody.
Brody. Cool.
Yeah.
How long you had Brody for?
Oh man, he's getting up there now. I think he's about 10 years old.
Yeah. So you only got one dog?
No, I got 4 dogs.
Chihuahuas?
No, 3 Chihuahuas and a King Corso. I don't know if you know what kind of breed that is.
Not really.
So, yeah, they're kind of in the pit bull boxer family, and they usually chop their ears down, and they're kind of big, majestic-looking dogs. But she's a big baby. Everybody's afraid of her. They don't want. They come to my gate. They don't come in there, and it's just kind of funny because she's. If they only knew.
Yeah. Okay, now, for you, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions, man?
Yeah, I do. We got our chaplain that comes over there, and I just have to see him before we go down the strip there. Say a quick prayer, and I'm ready to head down the strip.
So what goes into preparation to get the A-Gas car ready for a weekend of drag racing?
It's pretty easy, just kind of load the trailer and we'll fire the car up and make sure everything sounds good. Check the valves real quick and drain the tanks and air, battery, clean it up because I gotta make it look good too, because I paint cars and build them for a living, so I was gonna make sure that thing looks good. And it's pretty easy. Try to go over some notes and get ready for the first tune-up for the first hit, so we can get at least somewhat close on the first qualifier.
Right. So now, what are some of your favorite tracks to run on, Jim?
Well, this year we're gonna go. We're going to Sacramento Raceway. That's coming up here April 5th. And then I think May 5th, we're going to go to, was it Wild Horse Pass in Arizona?
Uh-huh.
We ran in Vegas, Sonoma, and then Bakersfield. That's about where I go.
So what's your favorite track to run on? Probably Bakersfield?
My home track by far. It's a great track, and the people, just even the track personnel and everybody there, and I just enjoy going there.
So have you ever ran 8th Mile?
Yeah, that was the big tire race I was telling you about. That kind of street outlaw Bodie put it on there in Sonoma, so we ran 8th Mile. And then one time in Vegas, got windy, and I was actually bracket racing a buddy's car. We ran 8th Mile as well. It's a little different racing for me.
So what do you prefer, quarter mile?
Oh yeah, the 8th Mile, going not heads up racing was fun too.
So now, where do you get your fire safety equipment from?
Let's see. Oh, I just good old Summit there. I think I got Sparko jacket and pants, and I don't know what my Hans device is, and shoes are Simpson.
What kind of tires are you running on an A-Gas car?
No, I run like it's like a Pro Mod tire, the 34 517 Hoosier 16.
Yeah, Hoosiers.
Yeah.
So would you ever jump on a Pro Mod?
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I figured that since you said you love to keep getting faster and faster, but the budget though.
Yeah, the budget is getting me right now.
Yeah, especially if you jumped in a Pro Mod, that's a lot of money unless you could get someone that wants you to drive for them.
Right, exactly. I painted a few here recently. I got some buddies that have some, so I just fixed up one because it used to be carbureted deal, and he turned it into a twin turbo. So fixed his front end and kind of repainted his car. And then another buddy has a Corvette. It was wrapped me and wraps don't get along when you're a painter. You hate to see those out there for me. so he said, I'm going to get rid of this wrap. So got him all painted up, and he just went and tested. And how I mentioned the track personnel, they were, they seen it out there and knew I painted it, so they sent me a picture. Man, the car looks good, and so that's kind of why I love Bakersfield. Everybody, I don't know, I have their phone numbers or whatever, text them. And it's kind of like family.
Man, that's awesome. And of course, there's a lot of history at Bakersfield.
Oh yes, sir. The March Meet's been going on for what 61 years now, or something like that. I think this was the 61st.
Okay, so now, Jim, what would you consider to be some of the milestones that you've reached in your racing career?
Well, like I mentioned, I won that in 2009. I was the NHRA Heritage Series B-Gas champion. So, I have a couple Wallies, and so that's pretty cool to have those trophies, because not everybody has a full-size Wally or got a sportsman Wally. And then winning the Bodie Street Outlaw type race, the 8th mile deal, that was actually a pretty big deal too. And then the biggest one obviously is the March Meets, because I've been trying to win that for a long time. And then in 2009, I got, as well, one of the things that made it sweetest was my brother was actually driving my dad's street car, and he won the championship in the hot rod class. So we got to celebrate together, be champions together. So that was pretty, that's a pretty big deal.
Now, throughout your racing career, have you had any accidents or close calls?
No, sir, not really. One time, I've gotten out of shape and, kind of sideways, a few times, but nothing really, really serious. And, I knock on wood and praise the Lord for that, or my safety and that kind of deal. I hope that never happens.
Yeah, knock on wood. So now, after all the years of drag racing, what still keeps you passionate about drag racing?
Oh man, I don't know, because everybody knows life gets hectic, and you get stressed out and everything. And when I'm at the drag strip, the stress kind of goes away in the pits. But then once you're in the car, that's like the freest and clearest my mind is. Like I'm not worried about anything else, nothing. So it's just like pure enjoyment for me. So I think that's kind of keeps me going back. And then, with your brothers and your family and everybody out there, seeing everybody. And I get a lot of business as well from, people seeing my car and know that I paint. And so I got a lot of customers and stuff out there as well. So I think that keeps me going.
Okay, so
I don't know what else I do.
Yeah. Okay, so now with you just saying that you don't know what else you do, I'm going to ask you this question here. You have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
Man, to be honest with you, not really. Not a lot. I love to watch football. I guess you can't really call that a hobby. And the other thing, I guess, would be just hanging out with the wife and traveling a little bit.
So you don't do any golfing, fishing, hunting, anything like that?
No, sir. I tried to golf, and, the people on the right of me, they didn't like me too much because the ball kept going their way, so it didn't work out too well.
No camping, boating?
No camping. We want to go do more camping and stuff, so that's something me and the wife talked about.
Okay, so if you and your wife have time to go on a vacation, what's your favorite vacation getaway?
No, we'd like to go to Hawaii. Yeah. That's kind of our favorite spot. And then we always go to the local coast here most of the time.
So who's your greatest competitor in A-Gas?
Oh man, all these guys are tough. Everybody's tough. I don't know that there's one in particular. You got the guy racing the final Frank Miranda. He's just been killing it. Last year he was a champion. He's been doing really, really well. So to take him out in the final, that was a pretty, good accomplishment.
So what was your ET in the finals?
I went. The ET was 759 with an 8 on the 760 index, so I was 2 thousandths under, but he was 758 with the 1 or something, so he was under by more.
Okay.
I had a 005 light in the final, but he was no slouch either. He was 007, so he was trying to take the stripe, and I knew my car was on a good setup, and he was out in front of me, and he tried to kind of back into me, and I'm like, you're going in. I just knew to myself that he was too fast. So, anyway.
Yeah, anyway, you got the win, and that's all that matters.
Yes, sir.
So, how many plaques, trophies, all that kind of good stuff have you won throughout your drag racing career?
No, I got quite a few. Like I mentioned, I got a couple Wallies. Then I got other, races from other events. And then when I first started racing the Heritage Series, they didn't give you Wallies for wins, so I got these cups, and I don't know, I got a little collection.
So you won some car shows before?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the truck that we took to the, like I said, you talking with my car or just in general?
Any of your cars?
Okay, yeah, some of my customers' cars, we just won best overall truck at the Grand National Roadster Show in Pomona, so that was a pretty big deal. So the customer got all excited, wanted to come back, and now it's all torn apart again, and we're putting a lot of the street rides these days are, LS base motors, so it had a factory 525 horse LS3 from GM in it, and so now we're doing stack injection and all kinds of different things because he got invited to compete for the Good Guy Truck of the Year, so he wanted to make a few changes. So there we were, tearing the finished perfect truck all back apart.
Okay, now, if you were able to do time traveling and go backwards in time, Jim, would you do anything differently with the drag racing career?
Well, that's a good question. I probably would have built my first car a little better. But, you're young and you don't know any difference, so I probably would have changed that and probably tried to race a little more than I did. There were some years I didn't race too much, and I guess that's about it.
So, what's your favorite food to eat?
Oh man, I love Italian food.
So, what's your favorite Italian dish?
It's called they call it blue eyes. It's like a fettuccine with chicken and mushrooms. So that's kind of my favorite.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, does your wife cook?
Does she cook?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's your favorite dish that your wife makes?
Guess what? It's lasagna.
Now, do you cook too?
Yeah. Well, I like the oven. I don't really cook in the oven, but I'll barbecue and that kind of thing.
Man, that's what us men are great for, barbecuing.
Yeah, I think that's what we're supposed to do.
But it seems that at the track though, you got the woman barbecuing.
Uh,
Yeah, you have your wife or your mom barbecuing out there.
no, no. Usually I do the barbecue. Seems like I end up cooking,
Yeah,
and it's always at the march meets. We buy all this food and we go out there, and then we get so busy. It's like 4 o'clock and we haven't eaten anything. Then by 6 o'clock, I'm like, you know what? I'm hungry, so I just start barbecuing.
then a lot of times you probably just wait till the end of the night after the races are done, then splurge.
Yes, sir. Because man, you get nerves going and everything like that. So that I guess you say when you ask me about superstitions, like I don't normally eat once I start the elimination rounds. I don't eat till it's all over.
So, what's your favorite beverage to drink, Jim?
Oh man, iced tea. I'm just a Okie boy.
Now, do you drink alcohol?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, what's your favorite alcoholic beverage?
I just drink Coors Light or Coors.
No, so there you
I'm
go.
not a big hard liquor drinker.
So after a great day of racing, you have a nice cold Coors and some barbecue.
Yes, sir. Doesn't beer and barbecue go together?
Of course.
Thought that was written down somewhere.
Yep, it's in the manual.
Yes, sir.
Must drink cold ones with all your racing buddies after the races.
That's what somebody needs to come out with as a man handbook, huh? That would be like first page.
Okay, so what's your favorite movie of all time, Jim?
Oh man, Back to the Future.
That's funny. Because me and my wife were just watching that a few days ago. We were watching 1, 2, and 3 all in a row.
Oh yeah, right on.
Cause got that box set.
Yeah, I don't mean to, but I watch it whenever I catch it on.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite music?
And I've kind of been through different times. I guess right now I would say country music.
Now, old country or new country?
Well, all country. I just listen to, I'll get like on XM and I'll just get on all the channels. So sometimes they'll play the new stuff and the new channel, and then I'll switch it to where they play old channels and Johnny Cash. I love Johnny Cash. So
Some people think the new country is too poppy.
yeah, I hear that, and sometimes some of the songs I get it. I really do.
All right. So, what's your what was your favorite cartoon when you were growing up?
Oh man, probably Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I guess you must have watched the Scooby Doo. Huh?
Oh
You
yeah.
got those down pretty good.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. When my daughter was growing up, I used to do that Scooby Doo all the time. Dad, do the Scooby Doo again.
That's funny.
Yeah. So now, did you have a favorite TV show when you were growing up? Like all the Brady Bunch, that kind of stuff, whatever.
Oh man, I probably did. Now I'm getting too old. I'm losing my memory. I don't know what I used to do.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah, everybody watched Dukes of Hazzard.
But were you watching for the Dukes of Hazzard, or you were watching for Daisy, right?
Oh yeah. Gotta have them Daisy Dukes, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're a young guy, shoot.
Okay. Now, what's been your most embarrassing moment when you're out there on the track on the starting line?
Oh, probably a few times, like doing stupid staging, like roll through the beams or just stupid stuff like that. And like, where you kind of look like an idiot, try to stage with the back tires, or, you just go in there and you just roll right through, that kind of thing.
So, what would you consider to be the fondest memory of your drag racing career?
Oh, man. Probably my first win. My very first win. That was pretty awesome.
Then I'm sure this March meet win's going to become a fondest memory.
Oh, yes, sir.
So if you weren't a drag racer, what else would you be doing?
Man, I don't know.
So probably just working on cars, maybe? Restoring cars?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I do. I do restore cars.
You restore like the old muscle cars?
Oh, yeah. No, and even in the 30s, 20s, I built street rods. So, man, I think I'm car guy all day long. I just switch gears, I guess. I'm kind of in the slow mode with the street rods, and then hit high gear, and now I'm going to the drag cars.
So now, if people are listening to the interview and they want to see what Jim Teague's schedule is going to be like, where you're going to be racing at, what's the best way for them to find out what you're going to be doing?
I guess, well, either Facebook or Instagram. I kind of post when I'm getting ready for the races. I'll take pictures. So you usually see my cars and my dogs on there, so it's pretty easy to figure me out.
So now, how important do you think it is for kids to come out to the drag races these days?
No, man, it's big, because if they don't come and get into it, who's going to do it in the future? And then it's just, I don't know, it's exciting to see when you come and the kids, they look at your car and they get all excited. And most people, I'm not saying most people, but some people, the kids will come around their car and they get all panicky, like, oh, man, watch them. And I'm like, hey, come here, bud. Like, you want to get in there? I just try to keep them excited. Make them enjoy themselves so they want to come back.
Yeah, you got to give them a memory of a lifetime sitting them in the car.
Yes, sir.
Like, wow, Dad, he let me sit in the car.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not so get a picture so you have it. So what's your, everybody's got iPhones or whatever these days. So I'm like, yeah, have your pop take a picture. So, kind of fun.
Do you have I can't even talk. Do you have hero cards?
No, I don't.
You need to get some of those made to give them to the kids.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sign an autograph on them. Then they can take that home and say, wow, look at this cool car. I sat in this car. I told you all his friends.
Right. Yeah, I should do that.
So now, Jim, you have any final words or thank yous you want to give out?
No, man. Well, thank you for interviewing me, first of all. It's pretty awesome to be on your
Oh, you're welcome. No
show.
problem.
Then, just thank the Lord and thank my family and friends and everybody that is involved in helping me. And, just, it's pretty big. I don't think we have enough time to list everybody.
You got about 5 minutes. If you got 5 minutes to spew some stuff out. Cause I get 45 minutes on the show. We're at 39 right now. So, what if you could spit any names out in 5 minutes? Go ahead.
All right, so we got Joe Betancourt, Justin Wake, Bruce Sanders, Mark Simonian, Jamie Burke. So how long have you been doing the podcast?
My wife started this thing about 7 years ago. So.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, she started out doing like rock bands, metal bands, and then I sort of slipped in drag racing on there, and then that's how that began. I'm like, I want to interview drag race drivers.
Oh, right on.
Because my dad started taking me to drag racing when I was 4 or 5 years old. So I'm 50 now. So I want to help promote drag racing, promote you guys.
Right, right. Did you ever drag race yourself?
Nah, just been a big fan for all these years.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Do you go out and watch the big show cars, or you just go to like the local track and watch most of that stuff?
Yeah, I just like going local track, watching nostalgia racing usually.
Right on.
We got the Great Lakes Dragway over here in Union Grove, Wisconsin, which is like 30 minutes away, and it's track's been there since 1955.
Oh, wow. So you got some history there as well, huh?
Yeah.
Do they have like a nostalgia races, like, something similar to the March meets out there?
Nothing that big.
Nothing that big, no.
We get Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend, the biggest races they have there, and they'll bring in only two nostalgia funny cars, and maybe about four to six nostalgia front engine dragsters. And they get the all-call funny cars. Then you got the Pro Mods, which is a group we have over here called the Chicago Wise Guys. Chicago Wise Guys,
Oh, okay.
Great bunch of guys.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they've been 25th year now. The guy Pete Demo's
Wow.
been running that group for 25 years.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Then there's a Gassers group, and you got your Chicagoland Super Stocks, and you got American Muscle Association, and there's a Pro E85 group.
That E85 stuff interests me.
Yeah, the corn fed.
I kind of like, the fast street cars, and that's kind of a way you can do it, because you don't have to worry about the octane deal then.
Yeah. Yeah, then
how can somebody replay this podcast?
I'll put the link on your profile.
Okay.
It gets, like I said, live right now. It gets recorded on the Spreaker.com site, and it goes on YouTube too. So it's like double recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll share it onto your page when we're done.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem.
You ever come out to? You ever think of coming out to, like, say, the March meet or any of those venues and checking it out?
Well, all the Nitro guys that I interview from out there keep telling me I need to come out there and experience it at least one time in my life.
Exactly. I'll tell you the same thing.
Because I do love Nitro Methane, so yeah, that'll be perfect for me.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. And people come from all over to race the March meet, and it's a good time. And sometimes you got to watch the weather. Like this year, it rained on us a couple of days.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, Jim, I want to thank you very much for doing an interview.
I want to thank you for interviewing me, bud.
And
good talking to you.
Congratulations again on that March meet win.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the year.
I hope so, and I will go chase that championship.
Yep. We'll do another interview in the future. We'll get a update on you.
Okay, bud. That sounds good.
All right. So you have a great day, Jim.
How about you too as well?
All right. Bye.